I'm straight, but I think I might be falling in love with my gay roommate. 4th of December, 2020. What do I do? For the love of God, I can't believe I just typed out that title. I'm sweaty and I feel like I'm about to vomit up my breakfast. This is going to be really long. Almost 2 years ago, I, 28 male, met my current roommate, 27 male, at the gym. He's out as gay. I'm straight. He's a cool guy. We have a lot of similar interests and we're even in the same profession, so we hit it off as friends and started hanging out outside of the gym. I guess we never really talk about his sexuality unless he's telling me stuff about growing up gay or coming out, stuff like that. He would talk to me about guys and I would talk to him about girls, back when dating was still a thing. We are both single and we both have been vocal about wanting a relationship. At the beginning of this year, our city was going to a strict quarantine. His roommate decided to move back home with his parents out of state. I lived alone. Neither of one of us needs to live with a roommate, but he's an extrovert who would lose his mind in isolation, and I'm an introvert who has depressive episodes, so I knew I wouldn't do well in isolation. So because of this, we decided to move in together. I moved into his 2-bedroom apartment, into his roommate's old room. Then quarantine started. I haven't lived with a roommate since college, so it was fun, hanging out with someone. We both work from home now, so we'd be in our rooms all day working, and then hang out in the evenings together, watching movies, playing video games. The first time I felt anything for him, Jesus fucking Christ, was when I bumped into him in our hallway. You do that thing where you go around the corner too fast and run into someone. I remember the moment exactly. We laughed and walked away, but when we were close to each other, I got that flip-flop butterfly feeling in your stomach. I thought it was so weird. I thought about it for a second and then laughed it off, thinking I was so deprived of physical touch from quarantine. But then it happened again. When he touched me to look at the tattoo I have, I knew that something was up. That was a few months ago. It's taken me a long time to admit to myself that maybe I do have feelings for him. For a while, I just ignored it or denied it. But lately, I just really want him. The other day, I came up behind him sitting on a couch and put my hands on his shoulders to ask what he wanted to do that night. And he put his hands on my hands. I nearly died. I just wanted to reach down and hug him. Instead, I pulled away. I said I'm straight, but I'm not an idiot. I know there's a spectrum, and if you asked drunk me a year ago if I would ever kiss a guy on a dare, I would probably say I would. But if you asked sober me a year ago if I would ever date a guy for real, I would say never. But now, I'm not so sure. Lately, the moments between us have been getting worse and worse. For a while, I don't think he noticed because we've always been playful with each other. But now the tension is starting to become palpable. Sometimes if we get drunk at home, yay, COVID life, there are moments where I just stare at his eyes for a second too long. Last week I came into the kitchen after a shower. I have a waist-length hair and it was wet. He looked at me and snorted. I kept asking him why he did that and he wouldn't say anything. Finally, I got it out of him. Nothing. It's just your hair looks nice like that. Then he laughed and jokingly called me little metalhead. I turned so red that I had to leave the kitchen to go to my room. Literally Ginny Weasley in Chamber of Secrets style. I hurled myself onto my bed and let my soul go to heaven. I still think about him saying that every single day. All of this to say, I really want to tell him that I have feelings for him. But what do I do? What do I say? What if he freaks out? Also, what does this mean? We just start dating now? If he rejects me, I don't think I would ever recover. Plus, isn't he going to ask for an explanation? And I don't even know what to tell him because I don't know myself. It's like I want to tell him I like him and I want us to be a thing. But at the same time, I need help processing what I'm feeling because I'm almost 30 and my entire life I thought I was straight. I don't want to labor him with that. I don't think that's fair. Plus, what does it even mean to be a thing? I don't know how to date a guy. I'm sorry if that sounds... I don't know. I don't mean for it to sound like it's dating an alien. I'm still dating a person. Gender doesn't matter in love, but still, are there any differences? I really don't know. This is so completely fucking new to me. We're spending Christmas together because we can't travel home. We're getting our tree this weekend. I want to tell him then, but I just don't know how to start. If you've read all of this, thank you, from the bottom of my heart. I'm not crying, so I'm going to go post this. Also, it's 11 a.m. on a Friday and I should definitely be working on my computer, so it's probably best that I go now before my manager asks what I've done all day. TLDR, I'm a straight guy who developed feelings for his gay best friend. I want to tell him how I feel, but I don't even know how to put what I'm feeling into words. Any advice? 8th of December, 2020. Update. I'm a straight guy, but I've fallen for my gay best friend / roommate. What do I do? Submit it on. First off, I just want to say thank you to all the people that left such kind comments. Your encouragement took away all of my anxiety and really cheered things up for me. The 2 takeaways I got were, stop spiraling in your head and just tell him already, and 2, stop worrying about the logistics. You obviously like him, focus on that. That helped tremendously. For those that just want to know the outcome, we're together. Smiley face. For those that want the whole story, here you go. We did go buy our Christmas tree on Saturday, and I'm glad that I told myself I would tell him then because it gave me accountability. I couldn't back out and say, well, I'll just tell him tomorrow. Plus, decorating our tree made me feel so comfortable, because I realized that this is for real and my feelings are real, and I'm not just imagining things. I want many future Christmas trees with him. I really thought that once I started talking I would blurt everything out and not be able to stop, but really it just came down to 2 lines. I have feelings for you, but I need help figuring that out. He was really sweet and kind and gentle, and just hugged me without saying anything, so of course, I cried. We talked for hours, and what he said came down to 3 things. He likes me too, but he said that it's complicated. He said that as much of a crush as he may have on me, he would never let those feelings develop because I was straight, which I get it. He said he'd had friends who are gay fall for straight guys and it never goes well. He also said he's glad I finally said something, because I could have literally overtly flirted with him, and he would have never said anything because apparently going up to a straight guy and saying, hey, are you hitting on me? Never ends well. Which again, I get it. Side note, I asked him if he ever knew, and he said, I wondered. You're not exactly subtle, and you blush a lot. Oh. But he did say that now that he knows it's okay and acceptable, he's really excited to take things further and have those feelings develop instead of blocking them out. Then he said I don't need to figure anything out and that eventually I'll just know. I don't need to explain anything to anyone, including him, and even myself, but he said the worst thing to do is deny feelings. He said I can talk to him about anything at any time, and that I wouldn't be burdening him, which I was afraid of. Then he asked if this meant I wanted to try being together. And when I said yes, he said we can take things as slowly as I wanted to. Then we kissed for the first time, and it was the happiest I think I've ever been. It's really amazing what can happen if you just open yourself up to love. The end. Thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate your help. Update, 29th of June, 2022. Someone messaged me and asked if we're still together. Yes, we are. Smiley face. Second story. Cute gay love story. My partner, 18, trans femme, and I, 20, trans masc, met each other when we were in the 7th grade. We shared a math class together in which we were the 2 biggest overachievers and would ask for more complex and challenging math problems and compete against each other to find the solutions. In other words, we were the biggest nerds in the world. It was during our 7th grade math class in which we developed a crush on each other, one that neither of us were aware that the other shared. Throughout middle school and high school, we were 2 oblivious idiots in love, in which our friends were blatantly aware of our feelings for each other. But we were none the wiser. We both ended up skipping a year of math and shared a math class for the rest of our high school career, as well as many other classes, and we became very close friends. We thought we were both cis and straight when we first met, which is the funniest part of it all. Junior year, right before COVID, came and fucked everyone over, metaphorically. My partner admitted his feelings for me. I admitted them back. And we entered what we call the not actually dating but totally dating phase. The best way to explain it is sort of talking phase, where we would get together and do things like go for walks, have picnics, grab food, go window shopping, things that you could do with your friend, but we were definitely more than that. I asked him to be my partner a few days after we graduated high school, and we've been dating ever since. I was the first one to begin questioning my sexuality, discovering my queerness shortly after we began the talking phase. They began questioning theirs shortly after, and we both figured out that we were pretty fucking gay. Then I began questioning my gender. traveling from a cis woman all the way to transmasculine person over the course of a year or so. My partner's gender journey was equally as lengthy, with them settling on transfeminine, gender fluid, rather recently. We're fortunate enough to be very similar size, so a lot of my old feminine clothes are now theirs, and I've gotten my fair share of their closet as well. Throughout our exploration of our identities, our love for each other has never wavered. We've been dating for almost 2 years now, and I plan on proposing to them on our 3rd-year anniversary. I already have rings picked out. My partner is polyamorous. They have 2 other partners that they share loving and intimate relationships with. I do not have any other partners, and while I'm open to the idea, I have no plans on finding any other partners currently. Everyone involved in this relationship is aware that my partner and I are planning on getting married and starting a life together, and they are happy with the arrangement. While it is a bit complicating having a polyamorous partner compared to both of us being monogamous, we're all very good about communicating with each other and being open about our wants and desires. We're all very happy and content with our relationship, and that's all that really matters. I've been told that my love life sounds like something out of a Wattpad fanfiction. My partner and I fell in love young, spent years pining after each other, and finally began dating in our teen years. We have not had any arguments, with our roughest patch being created by difficulties with communicating, which we quickly resolved, and we've been happy ever since. It often feels like we're the same person, with us having very similar beliefs, likes and dislikes, being able to read each other extremely well, and oftentimes sharing thoughts at the oddest times. I've never been happier than when I'm with them, and I know that they love me deeply in return. I often feel that I did not know true love until I met them, and I wouldn't change a thing about my life, knowing that every decision I made led me to this moment, where I get to be with them. I can't wait for what the future holds for us, from moving together and getting married, to getting jobs and starting a family, to all of the adventures we will get to have together. I'm glad I got to share part of our journey with you all. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become part of our Rainbow Force, and stay wholesome.
Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force, and stay wholesome.